All right, transcripting and everything in place. Welcome back. I know we had a quick little discussion here. So this is our memory networking call. This is the call that we actually get to know each other better. Abul is brand new. I got to meet him just today. So you guys will get to know him as well. I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself in your latest rendition. If you attach some extra services on there, it'd be lovely to know about that. But what I want to get at is a kind of a counter to what I got back from Gemini in terms of what the negative things about the the gig worker is. And tell me your why. Why are you doing what you do? Because it's not always easy. It is fantastic, especially during the summer. You can take your own vacations. You just book your yacht and go anywhere you want, right? Of course. It's not like you're working throughout your vacation or your weekends and whatnot when you're busy. So tell me your why. So again, the purpose of this is for us to get to know you better because we work better when we know each other better, work better together. So I'm just going to go with that. It's a nice small group so we can kind of take our time. There's 10 of us, 12 of us. So I'm just going to randomly, actually, I'm going to put the pressure on Abul because he's already practiced this. He's given me his why earlier in the day. And he went to the actor. He wasn't introduced by one of the group members. He actually found us. And then I later found that he lives like a couple of blocks away from me after we dug into the conversation a little bit. So, Bull, no pressure. This is just casual group. Go ahead. Let's hear about yourself and why you do what you do.
Yeah. Hey guys, thank you so much. So it was really an interesting experience in the morning to talk to Richard, and almost at the end of our call, we sort of started touching up on this subject of why we do what we do. So yeah, I like to call myself a data guy, and trying to offer, I would say, trying to help people in terms of getting their data journey started, and hopefully getting the value of the data that you do have within your organization and taking advantage of that. So this is, I mean, I'm just started with the the question that Richard asked, like why. I believe that data is something that I personally have seen that not well utilized across. So some functionalities within a business might be utilizing the data better than the other, and there are silos within the businesses with different processes. So that, since I've worked with a startup, then I worked with a consulting firm, then I started with working with banks as an IT contractor. I've seen that like different organizations, they have a different obviously processes, and the value of the information is not well utilized. So this is my why, is that can I do anything? Can I help bringing those data together so somebody in the business, they can see their operations a little bit better and perhaps help the process become more efficient. So background wise, I did my undergrad in electrical engineering, and even though as an engineer, I sort of always had a fascination towards the data part of it. So analyzing the data, trying to understand the data. And so, yeah, it has been 10 odd years of switching companies and trying to do what I love, and hopefully, continue to do it, I guess, at least 20 more years. There's the goal.
And Abul's got his master's from Waterloo, just down the road in Kitchener.
Yeah.
So master's, was it in computer engineering or is it
Yeah,
just
it's
electrical
computer engineering. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what I am like, it's a research. There's a research project as well. So what I'm trying to do in this research, project is that, say, there would be electrical vehicles in many homes, and the homes are really not well equipped to be sort of a smart home, because you need, when you have so many smart home devices like cameras, like thermostats and electrical vehicles. So every home has become a sort of a network of devices in itself. And then how do the utility can take advantage of it? So frameworks, there are lots of pilots, I think, across the world going on. The utilities, they want to take advantage of it, like they want to know, like, okay, can we be a OEM provider for the homes, right? So there are some questions there, and I just try to understand how can the electric vehicles be scheduled, and so that the utility can take some advantage out of it. Like, the utilities are in a regulated business, so they are not in a sort of a so-called profiteering business. But when you have such plethora of devices coming out of customers' homes, the utilities are finding it challenging to accommodate. So yeah, how to think about it, and how can we imply data-driven models to maybe get a nice win-win situation for both the homeowners and the utilities.
So I love this, and it ties in with a lot of the other stuff we do. If you can't get all the data working and communicating together within an organization, it's really hard to do a lot of other things that you're doing within the organization. So, like an AI would be one of the top ones. Like, how do you get access to everything that you actually do in order for AI to pull together and maybe even help you some positioning and stuff? But doing a lot of that with some of the stuff I've been doing. So the first part is getting all these silos talking to each other, sharing the information. It gives us a wealth more information to work with as well. So I pass it on to Manu, and go ahead, Manu. Give a Bill your background, and if you got anything new that you're working on through the summer, and then your why as well. What besides your parents saying, "Damn it, you're going to get your accounting degree and you're going to do that." What else do you do? What you do?
I guess let's just call it a spade a spade. So I guess for your first question, what do? I'm a Canadian US CPA, and the reason why I do it is because it puts food on my table. But my intrinsic why would be my YouTube channel, which I do because I like teaching, and I don't like to see people in financial distress because it's avoidable. So, which is why I just try and give out free information through that medium. That's it. And that's my why.
I also promote that. I always tell when I talk about people about you doing your YouTube channel, I'll say, here's a real educational service profession. And rather than having to answer all those questions at every single call, you can always divert people to your YouTube. Oh, I answered that really well. You want to follow up? Here's a summary of what the answer is. But here, go find a deeper summary. Go to my YouTube channel. So it's a great mechanism to kind of speed that sales process on and build some value with your relationship with your clients too. So I like that.
And I'll be frank with all of you guys. I mean, we're all trying to grow our business. It hasn't brought any leads, but it's helped me close leads, kind of like what you alluded to. So people talk to me that say, "Oh, watch this video," then they come back 3 days later, say, "Okay, I want this," right? So, so you guys can incorporate this into your marketing. It might help. Who knows? It's helped me.
I don't know if Miranda's going to agree with you. She doesn't believe in video much, but go ahead, Miranda. Tell us about yourself and your why.
No, I do believe in video a lot. So my company is The Art of Storytelling, and we do corporate video and photography for businesses and organizations and municipalities. So we really help them communicate their values, their mission, their purpose, or maybe something like a big strategic plan or an event or a gala or something that they're having. So we actually execute that creation of this meaningful video content that they need. And we support them throughout the whole process. So a full service. The why we do this is, so it's my husband and I are the business owners, and we absolutely love to go and learn about other businesses. And we've had so many opportunities to be in all different kind of industries in the last, 15, 20 years, that it's always a learning process for us, and it's really exciting. And the second reason why we do this is just because we do this very well and clients get really good results. They appreciate that they can now educate their viewers by using their videos. They can promote their businesses, and they actually feel really proud of their story. So when we do a personal business story about, it could be employees, doesn't have to be the CEO, but that kind of like, the feel and the values of a business, people feel really proud of themselves when we give them a video that they are happy to share. And it gives them a good platform that they can, better communicate what they do. The other thing I do is I also do some marketing support for food brands through influencer marketing and social media contests, press events, and media dinners and culinary classes. So that's just what I do as my, I guess, side hustle to my main hustle. Yeah, so that's what I do.
I love it. I feel like video adds that human element to a business, and it really makes it relatable, and it's got a lasting value to it as well. So you invest once, and you can use it for not years on end. We certainly want them coming back refreshing their videos, but
yeah, not usually too many years, but yeah, usually like 2 years, and then people want to refresh. Yeah,
exactly. Henrik, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, hi there. I'm a fractional CFO, so I work for startups and scale-ups, usually 1 to 2 million to 10 to 20 million in revenue, 5 to 10 to 30 staff. So they're at a certain level, they have some revenue, they have some cash. They want to get to a different level. They want to maybe obtain more financing. They want to become cash flow positive. They want to become profitable. They may want to exit. They are somewhere. They want to go somewhere, but they want to know financially exactly where they are and how they're going to, and where they want to go. And actually, sometimes they have options and how they want to get there. So that's kind of what I do. Like why I do it. Well, I like this stuff. What I just talked about, it interests me. I had so I'm learning a lot. I find I'm learning a lot more as independent and working for a company. That made it case for everyone, but I find that was the case for me. So that's I don't think of myself as having gigs. I had gigs. I don't think that model works for me. I want to have something more stable, still part-time, but a little bit more stable. Yeah, I think that's it.
Thanks, I appreciate it. I got Tracy. I saw you pop on later. I'm going to let you go at the end so you can figure out what's going on. So no worries. You'll get the gist of it soon. I'm just going to pop up to Eden and go ahead, Eden.
Sorry, I couldn't get my mic off. Hi, I'm Eden Spodek. I'm founder of Spodek & Co. Digital Marketing, and we're in Toronto City proper. Essentially, we do strategic counsel, digital marketing masterclass to help small business owners figure out how to do their own marketing, and fractional CMO services, along with any other services that can support any of the above. And as a side hustle, I'm a leadership coach, essentially from the marketing side of things. It's basically our clients come to us because they have headaches, and we help them to get rid of those headaches and be strategic about their marketing, because most of the time they have headaches because they don't know how to be strategic about what they're doing.
And your why, did you say it already? I missed it, maybe.
Oh, why? Because like Manu, I have to make a living. I need to feel like I have some purpose as well. So I do a lot of volunteer and pro bono work mixed in there that's related to what I'm doing. And I really enjoy it. I enjoy meeting and working with, clients. I stay away from anything that appears to be toxic, or I do my best to avoid it. And yeah, that's in a nutshell.
Excellent. Thanks, Eden. Pam, go ahead.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Pam Murdoch. I am a little different than probably a lot of people on here in that I'm not a sole independent business owner or freelancer. I work with a company called Left Turn Strategy. We're a very small core team, women founded and owned. And similarly, for me, it's about leaving the big traditional marketing agency world. And really, the whole reason that we started Left Turn was for exactly that. We took a left turn of our careers and lives, and we kind of want to do that for clients as well, because the traditional agency model doesn't work for all clients. So, we want to work with clients, do work we love with clients that we love working for. So similarly, like no interest in working with clients that are toxic or that, we just don't align with our values. So we do everything from, brand, content, digital strategy, marketing execution, content, really the full gamut, and work with many circle partners because we are a very small core team. So some are on this call today. And yeah, so we call them our circle partners, and it allows us to flex and kind of scale up, scale down, depending on our clients' needs, but it allows us just to be a bit more nimble and flexible and cost efficient for them, because we're not carrying the load of a big full team if we don't need to. So yeah, that's sort of the, you know, the why is we love helping clients that, to your point, often with marketing, you know, either you might be a team of one, they just don't have the knowledge or resources to do some of the things, or you know, we work with some small businesses as well that just really they don't know how to bring their value proposition to life, to clearly identify it, and then how to bring that to life in the things they do, and just where do they invest their money, because you know, every dollar is important when you're especially an owner operated business. So we're not just spending the money of a corporation, we're spending the money of someone that owns that business. So we want to make sure that we're using it effectively and efficiently. So yeah, that's sort of us. And
I would add, I believe you guys all, the two owners and yourself, all worked at the same agency at one time. That's where you got to know each other. And I worked for the same agency all at different times, except for one of the owners that I worked with, Tanya. So see, this is a natural thing that happens. You work for an agency, you get tired of the way they do things, you think of better ways to do it, and then you start your own. So it's a natural path. I love it. Thanks, Pam. Christina.
Hi, everyone. I think I know most of you. So Christina Rahasia Crandalls, I am a marketer, but I specialize in search engine marketing and search engine optimization. I guess as we talk about pivoting a little bit, not pivoting a little bit, but I used to always say SEO and SEM. Now I would say probably about 90% of my business is paid Google ads. So a lot of it is on the paid Google side. And then on the SEO, I call it mini SEO. I resolve sort of errors and warnings on a site and sort of do some backlink research. But yeah, with AI, I find that SEO doesn't deliver results kind of in the timely fashion that most people are looking for. I do everything from strategy to execution to it all. I come with a lot of marketing experience at large marketing companies. And why do I do what I do? A lot of it, I guess, kind of similar to what people have said. Like I'm passionate to help people grow their businesses. I think I know I bring value from these large companies I've worked with to these small, medium companies. And yeah, I love helping, like I'm passionate about it, and I love helping bring people's passions and helping them grow their business. And driving those results.
I think it's an interesting pivot too, because you are riding that AI wave right now. I mean, it's pushing everything you do along, and you got to adapt really quickly to it. But I think on the paid side, that the tools, all the media companies are moving and taking advantage of it, and you can roll with that as well. SEO is going to continue to be a huge element of that, because that's where a lot of the data is coming from, and I just think it's going to keep changing and whatnot.
Yeah, it is amazing though, even in the tools. Like, and I don't want to say that there's no SEO side of it, because even obviously in SEMrush and a lot of the tools now, like you're able to see like how to optimize for AI search as well. So SEO is still there. It's just it takes longer to rank, and so you kind of need to sort of do both and be conscious of both being important.
I always used to say that at the end of the day, a human's going to come to your website. And I feel like if you do SEO properly, you're working for the benefit of the human, to explain your services properly, to use proper terminology. I remember I had a guy I was working at a mutual fund company, and did a scan of our site and said, "Do you know you'd never ever mention the fact that you work through mutual funds in an entire site?" I was like, "That's impossible. Are you kidding?" And it's just an implied thing. So it's like SEO is making sure that if you look at it from the human perspective, the users understand what you do. So if you start there, and kind of like everything kind of goes from that up. So I love it. I think it's a very interesting space to be in right now. Scary and interesting, just like surfing, right? If you crash, it's not going to be so good, but if you're moving along, it's quite fun. Robert.
Never know when my name's going to show up on the
All right, I'm going left to right.
roulette
It works
wheel
for me.
the roulette wheel of names. Hey everybody, I'm Rob Scazzari. My company is Inspiring Design. I'm a brand strategist, graphic designer by trade, and web designer. So I've been building up my business for the last 10 years. I mean, I started it because, I was living in a small town, Ontario. There really were no other options other than, and any job prospects were over an hour away, but there wasn't really much. So I started, but I've been really enjoying it. for the most part, I've been a generalist, but kind of in the last few months, in this summer, I'm kind of putting a little bit of more focus on the health and wellness industry. Really just to pick a niche. Just looked at my portfolio. Who have I worked with? Who do I enjoy working with? You know, dentists, coaches, naturopaths, physiotherapists, businesses like that. So that's something that I'm doing this a little bit new, just trying to find a niche. Not to say I won't continue working on other businesses, you know, you never know who's going to come, but just something to focus my marketing efforts on versus trying to do everything. And I'm working with, I'm kind of playing around with using AI as my business coach and marketing coach. Um, uh, I just yesterday I kind of switched over from ChatGPT to Claude. I don't know if anybody's used Claude. It's so good, and I use it for my writing content for my clients. The quality is way better, but it's kind of also coaching me on. I lack in sales, like being an actual salesperson. So it's I've created a prompt that it's kind of coaching me through a system that what to do next. It takes step by step. It's guiding me. It's actually really holding me accountable, which is really weird. If I go in a different direction, he's like, "Whoa, come back. Let's finish this." It's really neat. So I'm curious to see how that works out. It's a crazy world we live in, but we're here. Embrace it or become a plumber, I guess. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Thank you. My why, I don't know. It's really my why is having my own business is the way I have my freedom. I don't think I could ever work for a company again. Being expected to sit in a chair from 9 to 5 is just not who I am. I like my flexible hours. I like these kind of meetings, going to networking, meeting with clients at the cafe or meeting on Zoom. It's up to me, and I have that freedom. So that's what I enjoy, in addition to putting food on the table and supporting the family.
Love
Yeah.
it. Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
Excellent. And Claude, I heard a lot about that. I listen to a lot of investment, and they talk about Claude. Yeah, a lot of people go back and forth from ChatGPT and Claude to see which one the best would be better. I use Google Workspace myself, so I use Gemini, but
yeah, I did an experiment. So I use I use AI to write content for my clients, but I take that content and I run it through Humanizer website. It tells me the rating of the likelihood of it being AI generated, and then it kind of rewrites stuff and took the same instructions, wrote homepage content for the same website, had ChatGPT write it, and then I had Claude write it, ran them through GPT, all the red dots came up saying, 99% likelihood it's AI, and obviously ran it through Claude, put it in, and it gave a perfect score, 100% written by a human. I was like, that's interesting. It bypassed all of the tests, so that was pretty impressive. So
yeah, it's interesting. I love that you did the experimenting. Colleen.
That's very interesting. I would love to talk to you a little bit more about that at some point, Robert. But
sure.
You can lay some right now, Colleen. You can split some in your.
I'll just tell you my little spiel. Sorry, someone's texting me. I'll give you my little spiel. First,
I was texting you because we're probably on the same wavelength. Because
all right, I'll turn my ringer off. I'll give you my little spiel, and then we can talk a little AI because I've got some thoughts on that too. So I am an external PR consultant. I've run consultancy for about 15 years. So I create and manage external PR strategies for B2B companies to drive their business forward. That's me in a nutshell. That includes things like earned media, crisis and issues management, sometimes include some social, in real life speaking events, anything that's basically going to touch and build corporate reputation. My why, I think from a big perspective, managing and protecting corporate reputation directly impacts their success and the ability to grow. And trust and reputation are super essential. And actually, I'm very excited about AI. I'll switch over to the AI piece now, because earned media is, when you look at the AI tools, is highly driven by what the AI is pulling, and pulling earned coverage is third-party endorsement is super key. And so, you know, a lot of people used to say, oh, is PR a dying thing? You know, it's like the news media is shrinking and under threat. And the thing is that the AI tools are really, really reliant on it, not completely, but it's very good news for people who do what I do. So
I would argue that that PR role is going to expand, because as the news media outlets shrink, which they are, and they're in the US, they're under a lot of pressure from the administration there. But their new world is podcasts and other influencers, and it's become humongous now. So like, you really need somebody to help navigate that. So
I don't think that the traditional outlets will ever go away. They're still going to be around. There'll be fewer of them maybe, or it'll be consolidated, and there will be new ones like podcasts and Substacks and all that kind of stuff. But I'm very excited about how much AI really does rely on third-party credibility. So that gets me very excited.
And a last thing, I'm going to pass it on to Marta in a sec, but one last thing, I'm reading the book, Hard Things About Hard Things by Horowitz, from Horowitz and Andreessen, the venture capitalist guys and the guys that invented the internet and all that stuff with the first browser. And one of the points he made strongly is, don't do PR on your own. The very first thing you need to do is hire a PR person. It's incredibly important. So there you go.
Thank you. Well, you can hire me.
There you go. Marta, go ahead. You can ask your question and answer or talk about yourself, because I know you got to scoot soon as well. So
I do. That's what I was doing that. I'm so sorry. I didn't
no
want
worries.
to ruin the flow, but I wanted to at least have an opportunity to just say hello to everybody. So I'm Marta Andrade. Please don't mind my voice. I have a head cold. I'm trying to get better. I'm getting there. I'm going to beat it. I am a brand designer, which basically is a therapist for businesses who are having identity crises. And so I'm trying to kind of work that funny spin on things, because I work with startups, scale-ups, and nonprofits who are basically going through that trauma of what font, what color, too much going on, what's going on. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that they have not done a good strategy first deep dive discovery. So that's the kind of designer I am. As you can see, I like being a little tongue in cheek. If you want to work with someone who's fun, that's what I'm trying to do, is have fun as I do my projects. My why really is, I'm passionate about graphic design. It's been, like Robert, a very long time. Him and I have had our one-on-one. I think I've been doing this now 30 years. And I have young children. So I feel it's really important to model that you can run your own business and do other things. Other things means life, right? So they are my why, and that's me in a nutshell.
Excellent. Thanks, Marta. I'm going to, so Dorothy, you popped off the camera and on again, so you shuffled the order that I saw you at. But so is it good, if you guys haven't had a chance, I did a pseudo good job, probably a terrible job, interviewing Dorothy before she did or asked me anything. So that's on the B2B cohort. You want to do it? I really wanted to supplement it with the actual video of the call, and couldn't make it work. I was on a bus traveling through a mountainside that definitely had no internet access, so I couldn't attend the last call. But we'll have to do it again. And I'm gonna have to ask everybody if they enjoy the MA. I want to sprinkle some of those throughout the months. It's so another way to deep dive, get to know us a little bit better, so we know how to work with each other a little bit better. But that's it. Go ahead, Dorothy. Oh, muted. Oh, you're muted, Dorothy, there. Shoot.
Oh, my mic was off. Sorry. Hello, everybody. Just a quick add to Robert and Colleen's point. Yeah, I agree that Claude is really superior when it comes to the content, but I think where it lacks, and each will have its functionality. Now, what I really like about ChatGPT, which totally knows me, you can actually do really good images. I've actually done a really good watercolor image that I used to run on Facebook. I used it for Facebook ad, and that ad was very successful in getting people into my webinar. So you can actually do things like that. And I know they've now come out with an AI agent, which I'm about to discover. So it depends on really what you want. So I think I still certainly wouldn't discount ChatGPT because it's far ahead. They have tons of funding, and there always will be they'll always be upgrading the functionalities. So depending on really what you want. But with that said, I'm Dorothy Vernon Brown. Dorothy as in the Wizard of Oz, and as you can hear, I love AI. But prior to that, I'm in automation and AI strategist and coach. So before AI was so big, I used to do chatbots, which was those predetermined bots that you would fill the question. You'd ask answer questions, so it's predetermined answers. But now with AI, I've pivoted that way in marrying the automation and the AI. Actually, I have a voice assistant on my website. So if you want to experience voice, a conversation between AI and yourself, you can actually go on my website and you can have that conversation. I also had it on my when I do my workshops. So I'm around automation, saving time. I'm very big on saving time because for me and all of us here, time is our greatest currency. Once it's spent, it can't be recovered. And I'm big around how we spend our time. So that's how I actually got into automation. I actually think automation found me. And now with AI, it has now just 10x our capacity and the things that we can do. So that's part of the services that I offer. So it's automation, building out campaigns, whether it is a lead gen campaign, a welcome campaign, whatever that is, building those things out, and then using the AI now to do even more advanced things. Why I do it, again, it is really around removing the manual tasks that suck so much of our time so that we can get to do the things that we love. Because when we show up here, we don't only show up as a business owner, we show up as our wholesale with families. I hear young kids here, older kids, whatnot. And Richard just came back from a vacation and he was with his family. And that's the things that we like to do, where we can step away from the business. It doesn't own us. And so we can step away and still have a thriving business. And that's why I like the things I do. I also like what I do because I get to help business owners, service providers, coaches, and consultants really up level and really enjoy the work that they do and not being sucked in, constantly pressured, working 24/7 and not get the time that they deserve. So that's me. For the summer one, things that I'm doing, a lot of you know, is running the AI Made Simple workshop. I have partnered with the Black Women Collective, and I'm running some workshops with them. Actually, I have one tomorrow. And so because AI has changed and is changing the way we work. I hear Christina was talking about SEO. I was just reading an article, or about to read an article about now we are not only optimizing for Google, we now need to optimize for Claude, for ChatGPT, for Perplexity. So everything is shifting. And so for me, it is helping business owners understand where the puck is going so they can become equipped. And so their businesses can also shift to where it's going to likely make the biggest impact. So that's me in a nutshell. And a lot of you know that I chair a charity that I'm extremely passionate about. I think it's part of my life's purpose as well. And yeah, that's me.
And how did the 5K walk go? Did it?
Fantastic.
Excellent.
Smashing success.
Excellent.
Fantastic, Richard.
Excellent. That's good to hear. That's good. You have to post some stuff on the B2B so we can learn a little bit more about it.
Yeah,
when
we
you get a
have it. We're
chance.
gathering all that for social and so on. Our target, we have over $23,000 in donations so far and counting. We're going to be taking it to Ottawa. We're planning to take the campaign to Ottawa as well.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. All right. Last one. So Tracy, you probably got the gist of it. Introduce yourself. Talk about the why. I did a bit of, I popped in, I use Gemini. We're talking AI. I asked it, what are the biggest concerns today for gig workers, to summarize what I asked. And it gave me all the worries and concerns of running your own business. And I thought, let's turn that around a little bit. This is our networking spot. There's an opportunity to get to know us, each other at a deeper level, because I feel collaboration happens better when we really know each other, what makes us tick. So I said, give me an introduction to yourself. What's your latest thing? What's your latest pitch that you're doing? And your why behind that, to kind of counter that negative aspect of it. So go ahead, Tracy.
Tracy Burnett. My company is Leads to Success Global. I'm based in the UK. And for the last 35 years, I've run my business working mainly with marketing agencies and consultancies who want more clients and want some business growth. So I started, as I say, 35 years ago, came out of a top London design consultancy where I was a director, and realized that there was a lot of agencies being run by creatively trained people who didn't have much business and marketing experience. So that's how it all started. So obviously new business is always the toughest thing that most businesses face. So if they've just got the odd lead trickling in, they have tried a number of things, generally tactical things like hiring a lead generation agency that uses automation, or they've tried hiring an appointment setting agency, but they haven't got the basics right. And by the basics, I mean, they haven't really understood what their positioning is, their marketing messages, why they're different, who they should be approaching. So that's always really my start point. And then from there, we come up with a marketing strategy and plan and content plan, and I, get them on their way. So that could look different for every company, really. Depends on what people they have in place. So in smaller companies, it's generally founder led, but sometimes they've got a junior person, sometimes they've got a salesperson, but not a marketing person. So where I fit in from the strategy and the planning does depend on the company. So I'm really just trying to find what it is that's unique about them that we can package and turn into a pipeline of clients. So that's what I do. That's what I've been doing. I've got a podcast that I started earlier in the year. I'm just about to launch episode 25. It's called Marketing Momentum for Agencies. And there's going to be a book early next year on the similar lines. And I'm also a LinkedIn specialist. So that's me. Why I do it? Well, I've sort of forgotten really why I do it. I started out doing it for myself rather than being an employee, because I just thought it would be a really good scam to actually just work 3 days a week and make jam the rest of the time. And of course, never worked a 3-day week and probably made about 2 pots of jam in 35 years. So, but it does give you the flexibility, which is nice, and I'm totally unemployable now. So yeah, that's me.
Excellent. I do watch, I've listened to your podcast. I go through a ton of podcasts, cutting the lawn, doing all that other stuff. I put the headphones on, just neighbors keep bugging me. It's like, stop, man. It's a really important part of the podcast. So it's great. It's a good follow. So
yeah, I had one of your people on, Rob Main.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Rob Manny.
Manny, that's right. Yeah,
I call him that all the time. He loves it.
And I've got some good AI people coming on soon. And last week was a guy called Stu Hynek, and he's got a book called How to Get a Meeting with Anyone, and it's a brilliant book. And he's a great guy, and so that was really exciting for me. And yeah, in fact, I got just doing one of the ideas from his book. I got a £10,000 sale, so roughly 20,000 Canadian dollars, I believe, out the gate just by doing one of the ideas and spending about £10 doing it. So yeah.
You got to put that on the sharing thread, so we remember those books, because I want to. If it's well written, I'm reading that Hard Thing About Hard Things. It is helpful, but of course, really written. It's a terribly written book, and it's just like I'm struggling through. It's like, oh man, he should have hired an author to help him write that thing. But it's a lot of great ideas in it, especially if you're a business owner. So I shouldn't say that live on. Nobody's gonna listen, so we'll be fine. We'll be good. I'll never get a job with them probably now, but that's okay. So I'll go back. I'll kind of wrap up in terms of what I do. I'm a digital transformation consultant. I kind of bounce around to get here. I would say, so what I do is really help companies look for systems that can support their business as they grow, or even as they descend as well. Like, I mean, moving up and down the ladder, you need different systems to run your business. I work with folks like Abul, because if you can't hook up all the data unless the systems are talking to each other properly. And I work with a lot of like yourself. My why, and it's the same reason why I started this networking group, is I've been entrepreneurially, and this sounds like everybody else says. I mean, when I was a kid, I would kill all my friends because I was the one starting my own lawnmower business. I'd mow a couple of lawns. I spend the rest of the week hanging out by the pool, getting a great tan, having fun. I did painting stuff. I did just about everything, and I just loved it. I helped my dad sell his first business when he first got out of school. And I kind of, my why is a lot like what you guys do. I like doing my own business. I want to make sure that others can do theirs. And I continue to look for ways to support others. And digital transformation is just this one way. Like I'm sure Henrik will tell you that, you can't exit your business until you take a lengthy vacation and it runs itself. Dorothy would tell you the same thing as well. You need systems to be able to do that, and the right systems to be able to do that. Why I started the groups the same way. I love businesses. I love learning about business like that. I think the most resilient people are business owners, even from the smallest. Like we talked about Doreen, who has worked with people in small towns and women in small businesses like candlestick makers. Everybody's got a really exciting story, and that's what I do. I just like to learn about them and listen to them. So I heard a lot of things today that I want to kind of bounce around on. And obviously AI, I'm almost tired of hearing about it, but it's just such a mover right now in everybody's business. I'm using it profusely right now to do what I do. Mostly for me, I do a lot of work for my client is a large organization. They deal with the public, sell the public all the time. That involves requests for proposals. It can be pretty monotonous. There's a ton of details and work within that. And AI helps me get through that information, make sure I don't miss anything. But more importantly, I would have to deal with subject matter experts to price projects properly all the time. It's allowed me to cut down the amount of time I spend with the subject matter experts. So usually the team that does the work doesn't really like hearing about a salesperson doing the pricing as well as writing the proposal. But I'm able to do that with the help of AI, and I'll flush it out to its fullest, and then do a run by with the subject matter expert, and it saves them a ton of time rather than spending hours with me back and forth on that. So, and there's other ways I use it as well. So I'm sure. So tell me, you guys, Robert spent quite a while sharing how he uses it. Dorothy as well. Has anybody else kind of triggered or played around with in terms of how that makes you do what you do better? Yeah, you got a lot of nods, going on. Does anyone want to give me an example? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I play around with it all the time as well, and there's a million different use cases. Like But it's everything with a grain of salt, as everyone knows. Like even for example, for like keyword research, like I played around with it. I'm like, oh, hey, you know what? Give me 20 keywords or 100 keywords about this. And it'll give you some fantastic sounding keywords, but then you put them actually into Google and see, okay, is there actually the search volume around it or there? Like where it can help with is like some content ideas and some different things there, but it's sort of taking it with a grain of salt that it doesn't actually have access to the data. So if you just took it straight off. But I also use it, for example, for my husband's company when like they sell dental practices, very niche business, but like, and there's been no social media for them. And I'm like, okay, what's the, like, I was debating between LinkedIn or Instagram as to where I was going to start doing some social for it. I was like, hey, this is the company that we're doing, and this is what we're trying to achieve, which is the best social media platform. And then it just like, it's just incredible how it's kind of like the layering of the prompts. I'm like, hey, here's the why on this. Oh, would you like to give me a sample post? Oh, would you like me to do this? And it walks it forward. And then you take that with a grain of salt as well. But like it, yeah, those are just a couple of different like initial ones, but yeah, there's a million different ways.
The latest I've heard from ChatGPT is it's going to have the e-commerce. So like all the way from the information to do the transaction online. They're working closely with Shopify. I'm not sure exactly what the relationship is, but could be a closed loop, ask for something, shows you something, transact on something. So it's some interesting things. Anybody else got any nuggets on there that recent stuff that you discovered?
Well, I heard that I haven't done it myself, but I heard that when it comes to setting up an e-commerce business, you can sort of, they will help you with, finding names for your website and helping you with product names and writing marketing letters and sort of setting up an e-commerce business is easier than ever. I haven't done it, but I just heard about it. It's they can do a lot of that stuff for you and help you register and get domain names and whatever not. You still have to get an email list though, and that's the AI won't help you with that. So it's we have to have someone to sell to. But yeah,
I
No, it
think
makes
that the it's got so many use cases, but you have to have a really critical eye when you're looking at it. You have to get really, really critical and think about where it may not have thought through everything and question it. So I am experimenting on it on a lot of different fronts for research and I like it for like summarizing or synthesizing information, lots of different things, but I'm always like thinking like, where could it be maybe not thought through, right? Like, and so you just have to really be very hypercritical of everything it gives you.
Yeah, you got it.
But and you're right. The one thing I'll build on that of when you're talking about the shortening and synthesizing, like we use that for even some of the social media articles. There's like a 1,000-word article, and like, hey, you know what? Let's synthesize that into a LinkedIn post. But then what happens is that there's like all the icons that they put along often when they're summarizing it, and I see some people that are just like taking those and like copying them directly, and yeah, absolutely.
I had and Edith's got her hand up, so I'm going to pass it to her. But and I'll share a story. I worked on my vacation. One of Ingrid's cousins has her PhD and works as a professor in the States, and was sharing how she gets students to use AI and not use AI. But go ahead, Ian.
I was just going to say, I use it all the time for a lot of different things. I think, going on to, sorry, I'm getting messages here from Google. Building on what Colleen said, you have to have a critical eye. You also have to know how to ask for what it is that you need. And I think you got to be really careful when you're writing. You have to make sure, if you're letting it write everything for you, you're not going to sound like yourself. You're going to sound generic. You don't know when you're plagiarizing things. It can tell you and attribute things to people and make mistakes. I've caught it in mistakes many times. So buyer beware, but just to show a good use case, critically, I am creating a GPT. I've been thinking about it for months. I spoke to somebody yesterday in educational transformation yesterday, and it was like, she's like, do it, don't wait. Like, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go start tomorrow. And she, I went into ChatGPT and I just said, can you help me with the process? Tell me what I need to do. Tell me what you need from me. And it also knows a lot from me. So it was like, do you want me to create a template? It mixed up a couple different parts of my business and it needed adjusting. But because it knows me and it's so well trained and it's a paid account, it's been able to do some of the heavy lifting for me. You also have to be very careful. And then I was like, okay, what do I have to do to worry about IP, which people may not be thinking about when they're uploading anything to ChatGPT. And it gave me the, submit X, Y, and Z, do not submit A, B, C. A friend, the same friend I was with, just published a book, and she told me within 2 days her book was already available in ChatGPT. Interestingly enough, though, I asked it, and she goes, just go in and ask for a summary. So I went in today and I'm like, please give me a summary of book X. Well, there was another book with a very similar title, and that's the one it came out with first. So I'm like, okay, no, I mean this book by such and such. And it said, oh, this book was just published this summer, in the summer of 2025. I don't know as much, but I can tell you this. If you have very specific questions about it, let me know. So I just wanted to share some of that to highlight the buyer and user beware.
I'm going to go really quick now, Dorothy, then Pam. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Richard. I won't go through chat and Claude, but I'm not sure if a lot of you use a notebook element. If you're talking about summary and so on, how I've found that really useful, because in the charity, we have to take minutes and it has become a big problem. So we'll just upload the audio or video and ask it to create the summary. And from that, we can write minutes really easily right now. So if anybody is looking, so don't forget, in Notebook LM, you can actually upload audio and the link, and you can actually get summaries from that. Even for you, YouTubes, if you're like any YouTubes out there, you could do that, get summaries and notes and mind mapping. So that's one thing, another tool that we can explore as well.
Go ahead, Pam. You got the floor.
Yeah, I won't spend too long. It's kind of adding on to what Ina was saying, that we used it a lot for similar things, like researching, helping kind of with some of that kind of ideation and just kind of get started. But we were doing some fun, just competitive sort of shopping, like who are the top 10 marketing agencies in Berlin, like just to see, because even for our clients from a search perspective, right, like how do you, because I think people are thinking even about how do you show up in the Google search rankings now, and how much of it's based on AI prompts versus, right, Christina, when you're talking about SEO. So interestingly enough, 3 of us put in the exact same prompt into ChatGPT, and we all get completely different answers. So that's the other kind of beware, is that it's based on, like, it's my search history, how I've used ChatGPT, and it's feeding me more brand specific stuff versus my digital partner is more technology based. It's serving her up more kind of tech. So we just found it interesting that, you could put the same prompt in and get different results. So it's just more of that buyer beware, or user beware of just don't take everything completely at face value. So that's it.
And Eden, you got the last word. Yeah. Oh, you had your hand up. Or did you just get to it?
Oh, it's not an accident. Although, sorry,
No, you got it back.
I can add to Dorothy's note takers or whatever. If you are using Zoom as opposed to Google Meet, you can use the AI annotation. It will take the meeting minutes for you essentially and email them to everybody on the call. So you don't even have to worry about creating the minutes.
Google does that too. I've got that going, Gemini in the background.
Oh, do you? Okay,
Yeah,
I haven't seen it as well done as Zoom.
It's I use it because I feel it satisfies my needs, I guess. So I started with ChatGPT and then went to Gemini just because I added it to my Google Workspace package. It depends. If you're not getting the right answers, there's others out there, just like anything else in there. So totally. And Dorothy, Notebook LM, that's Gemini's Notebook LM, right? That you're talking about?
It's
Google one.
Google. It's a Google product. It's a Google tool.
Yeah.
It's
the nice
really
thing about
good.
that. You can retain your information too. You're not sharing it openly, so you can just
correct.
There's
more privacy, and and I think the paid version, and it can be a pretty cool tool.
Yeah, not that I'm pumping Google. I find it too. I just keep using it till there's my Alexa stop. There's my AI telling me to wrap up the meeting. Oh, guys, it was great. I like this. I like these small formats, and I like getting to know you guys better. If you guys, I don't remember if any of you guys had a chance to see the AMA with Dorothy. I'm gonna run those again. If you're interested in doing it, the way that I do it is I'll just do an interview. I'm just gonna ask you some questions to give you. The goal is to try and make it simple for you as well, so you don't have to prepare a presentation like we used to do in the old days. Just ask a few questions. I'll post it in the B2B cohort as a thread, and that kind of, I'm hoping everybody comes with their questions asked, and you just basically show up and do your thing and answer questions. So think about it from Manu's perspective. Maybe you could ping him about CPA stuff if you want to know about finances. Henrik, if you want to dig into marketing, there's lots of people to do that. So if you're interested in doing an AMA, that's how. If you know somebody good that could do one, it doesn't have to be in the group as well. I'm looking at opportunities to, again, dig in and get to know each other deeper so that we have better collaboration opportunities. Okay. Have a fantastic rest of the day. It's sunny out there.
Thank
At least here. Well, shoot, I just said that. Now it's cloudy. It's sunny somewhere. Go ahead, Eden. One last thing. Did you? No. Okay. All right. Cool.
Bye bye.
All right, guys. See ya. Bye now.
Bye. Bye, everybody.